Hi people, I'm Anders Köllerfors, the drummer of Narnia and All for the King. I also appears on Magnus Carlsen's Freefall, Annette Olsen, Destroyer of Death, and many, many more. The thing is, I have a new drum kit. Yay! I had some questions about it, so let's do a video and take a closer look. So, here it is. Let's start with the drum kit itself. It's a Pearl Reference 1, and the finish is called Twilight Burst. And the sizes, let's start with the 8-inch tom-tom. Right now I actually don't use it in the drum kit, but I still have one. You never know, maybe tomorrow I need it. So this very day I use it as a cable stand, more or less, to my in-ear system. So, but anyway, the next tom is a 10-inch, and then we have a 12-inch tom-tom. Then I do have a 14-inch, but it's not in the kit today. But you never know, maybe tomorrow. The first floor tom is a 16-inch, and then we have an 18-inch. On the other side here, we have a 20-inch gong drum. And on the floor, I have a 22-inch bass drum. Sometimes I use 2 bass drums. I actually have 2 of these. But when I'm in the studio, I usually just use 1. It's easier with all the stands and stuff. The snare drum I use today is a Pearl Sensitone Heritage Alloy Black Brass. And I alternate that one with a Matt Halpin snare, and that one is a beast. Okay, the heads I'm using today to this recording is Evans G2 on top on the toms and Evans G1 on the bottom, all clear. Sometimes I use UV1 Evans for the toms. It has a very nice attack to them. And it's also my go-to snare drum head most of the time, except for recordings when I'm gonna hit the drums pretty hard. Then I use this head, heavyweight dry. It's very nice. And last but not least, we have the head on the gong drum. I use a Evans G1 clear. It has a very nice punch to it. Let's go to the cymbals. On my left here we start with a 21 AA Holy China. Absolutely amazing. It cuts through everything without being harsh. Then we have a 20-inch HHX Aero Crash. Wonderful, warm and trashy. Yum, 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 yum. On the top of the crash I have a 10-inch HHX Evolution Splash upside down. And then we have my main hi-hat. It's a 15-inch complex medium. The thing I have discovered with this one is that it doesn't leak into the snare mic so much. Actually, so it's very warm, it's very soft sounding, but still it cuts through. I just love it. Then my main crash is an 18-inch HHX Legacy with a 7-inch HHX Evolution Splash on top and upside down. On the other side here we have my ride. It's a 22-inch Artisan Light Ride, followed by a 20-inch Artisan Crash. That one is so powerful. Amazing cymbal. Wow. Underneath we have my extra hi-hat. For this recording I actually used a 12-inch Mini China as the bottom and a 10-inch AA Mini hat top on the top. I can use it as a very trashy hi-hat, or if I open it up a little bit I can use it as a very, very short China stack. Very useful. Then we have my 18-inch HHX Evolution Ozone Crash. Then we end up the row of cymbals with a little stack. It's an old 18-inch HH medium thin crash with a 14-inch HH Mini China on top. Absolutely amazing. It's really short, but it cuts through without being harsh. I love it. Oh, I forgot to say earlier that the bass drum head I'm using is an Evans EMAD Clear. On the floor here we have my go-to double pedal. It's a DW 5000XF. It's a longboard because I have really big feet, so it suits me perfectly. I use it pretty much all the time, except for when I'm gonna play really fast stuff with my feet. Then I use my DW MDD. It's a direct drive pedal. It's a little bit faster, so I need all the help I can get when it comes to double bass playing. So yeah. The sticks, I use Vincent 5BXXL. It's a bit longer than the average stick. I think it's 17-inch long. Suits me just fine. I use Erlund microphones on pretty much everything except inside the bass drum. It's a Swedish mic with a triangular membrane that captures the sound extremely accurate. It's fantastic. As overheads, I use Erlund EHRT. With this one I can adjust the sound characteristics afterwards, due to the two membranes and two outputs in every mic. Very nice indeed. In the gong drum and the hi-hat I use the Erlund EHRE with a cardioid pattern. On the toms I use the Erlund EHRD with a narrower cardioid pattern for less bleed. On the bass drum I use the Erlund EHRE on the outside and the AKG D112 on the inside. For room mics I use two Erlund EHRMs. And on the snare drum I use a EHRE on the bottom, and on the top I'm using a prototype from Erlund. So I can't really say so much about it. I can just say it sounds fantastic. Then all the mics goes into my mixing console, the Soundtrax Quartz. I love the preamps and the EQ on this console, and everything goes through an Antelope Orion audio interface to Pro Tools. I usually mix in the box, but I always use a TubeTech multiband compressor, the SMC2B, on the master bus. It just makes everything so much better. Alright, I think that's all. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I see you out there.